Hello, sir. I'll go ahead and get started for this week for our discussion post. For the discussion this week, talk to one another about your papers. I'm keeping this wide open so that you can use the forum to work through difficult issues, questions you still have, resources you found helpful or are looking for. In full disclosure, I 100% thought about writing a post and then responding to myself and responding to it and responding to it. And the scary thing that made me really not want to do that is I think I'm at the mental capacity right now that I think I could do that. And I don't know if that's a really good thing at this moment in time. So I decided to keep it simple and just do a video and kind of answer the questions, as entertaining as that would be. So some basic elements to include: the general thesis of my paper, what passage am I writing on, basic idea of what Jesus is saying. So the passage I'm writing on is, it's going to be over anger in Matthew 5, verses 21 through 26. Generally, this is equating the feeling of anger that leads to malice that is the same as murder to the Lord. And my thesis for this really is to, in so many words, that anger itself is worthy of that equation that the Lord has explained to us and that He has laid out. So anger is worthy of this equation of being murder and being malice. What really got me to want to do this is, first of all, the serious one and the funny but also serious one. The serious one is going through the Old Testament class that we went through during the first bi-term. I really enjoyed looking at the Old Testament scripture, especially in the Ten Commandments, and equating it and seeing where it is found throughout the rest of Scripture, especially in the New Testament, so that we can apply it to our lives under the New Covenant, which I know is what the course was really all about. And I found a lot of value in that and really appreciated that. And I think taking this course subsequently, or just taking them together, is an incredible experience. So just in the future, I highly recommend doing this for other students. It is very, very beneficial. But now I get the chance to go back and look at it from the other's perspective. And I was actually going to write it over adultery at first because that's what I wrote my first paper on. And all I'd have to do is really flip it and just write about adultery again. But I didn't want to do that. I felt like that was the easy way out. So I wanted to write over something that really spoke to me with anger. And what I really loved about it was how our authors and how you equated it or illustrated it with the story of Cain and Abel. And that is an example that I think I'm going to use throughout the paper as an illustration, just throughout, just to use the story of Cain and Abel and culminate it into the meaning of malice at the end, and the true meaning of anger and the true consequences of anger. But really the funny reason as to why I wanted to do this was I was watching a video on George Lucas talking about why Yoda said fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. And he explained that the Jedi are selfless because they understand that, or they're trained to be selfless because they understand that emotion can lead them down a dark path. Now, what does that actually mean? It's actually that the fear of loss or the fear of something that can impact you or make you angry really can lead to suffering. And we see that in the life of Anakin, obviously. But in a similar way, anger comes from pride, the same way that anger comes from fear in Star Wars. So it starts with an insecurity, or it starts with something that you may not even notice until you become angry about it, which is what we see in the life of Anakin and what we see in the life of believers, and even us, So what I want to do is I want to try to equate that and kind of show that anger isn't the first step, nor is it the final step, and just show anger in its place with respect to emotion and actually aligning oneself with the Lord. So really the thesis of the paper is going to be somewhere along the lines of equating or showing that anger truly is worthy of the criminalization that the Bible really puts it in. Then include any questions, challenges, good resources, or questions about resources. I know I really can't do this very well, but I was going to share one book that I'm really excited to show. I know that you've probably read this. Oh, not read it, but you've probably used this text in the past, or at least know about it. This is the Cradle, the Cross, and the Crown that I used during focusing on the New Testament, or the New Testament class that I took a couple bi terms ago. I think it was last semester. And as not a great page turner as it was, it is still incredibly useful to find the background and to get all of the information about whatever gospel or book in the New Testament that you really need. And I'm excited to dive into it and really dissect Matthew a little bit, just to give more background, to give more understanding of the verses, understanding of the context and whatnot, and really give an in-depth view of the Sermon on the Mount, and then specifically the scripture and the impact surrounding anger and Christ's teaching on it. So that's what I plan on doing. For the questions part, I was going to ask if you read this or get to see this in time, are there any texts that you would recommend that I could probably get in time to be able to write the paper? I definitely want to, as I'm graduating, I definitely want to go out with a bang this year, or in this class, and I just want to do the best job that I can. And if you think that there is a text that I did not lay out in my previous assignment that I should probably look at, or you think would be beneficial, please don't hesitate to let me know, or just text me or email me and let me know, and I can, if you have it, I'll come over and get it. But those are the texts. I have them all here. There are 5 of them. This may grow, as I said in my last one, but I seriously think that I'll be using all 5 of these texts. But if you think that there's something else that I may want to use, then please let me know. But you have a great day.